Hello, everyone. My name is Rashi Solomon, and in topic two, we are discussing initiatives and referendums in the state of Arizona. Now, I am not in a citizen of Arizona. I'm actually a resident of Georgia, but it is my hope that within this recording that I will be able to explain the initiative and referendum process as it relates to the Constitution in Arizona. Now, topic two states that the initiative and referendum are at the heart of direct democracy in Arizona. There'll be multiple topics that we'll cover, including comparisons of pros and cons and how initiatives and referendums are created. An initiative, first of all, initiative is the process that allows citizens to propose new laws to amendments or existing laws and put them directly to vote by the electorate. It typically involves gathering a required number of signatures from registered voters to place on the ballot as a proposed measure. All right. Referendums is the process that allows citizens to vote directly on a specific piece of legislation or policy that has been proposed by the government or legislator. In a referendum, the electorate decides whether to approve or reject the proposed measure, which could be a new law, an amendment to existing legislation, or a policy decision. So, how are they created? How are referendums and initiatives created? The initiatives are created when citizens propose new laws or amendments and gather signatures to put that specific proposal on the ballot. Referendums occur when citizens challenge existing laws or policies by gathering signatures to put the issue on the ballot for a public vote. This involves for initiatives. This involves first you have to draft the proposal. Signatures are gathered. Then there's the verification process, the ballot placement, and then of course, lastly, there's the voting. Drafting of the proposal involves proponents identify a new need for legislation or an amendment to an existing law. The drafting process involves proposal of the draft, often with the help of legal experts to ensure that it meets the legal standards and it is clear with its intent or what it intends to do. Then, of course, signatures are gathered, petitions are created, the petition is signed, signatures are collected through that way. Then, of course, the verification process, they are submitted, they are collected and submitted to the appropriate election or government authority. The authority verifies the validity of the signatures by ensuring that they are from registered voters. They have to be registered voters and that the required number is met. Then it is placed on the ballot, it qualifies, and then of course they vote on it. Initiatives and referendums comparing and contrasting. The initiative process allows citizens to propose and vote on new laws or constitutional amendments. It is a new way to bypass legislator. There are proposals, of course, signatures gathered. We said they are also verified. They're placed on a ballot once the signatures are verified to be registered voters, and of course, they vote on it. The electorate votes on the proposed measures. If it receives the majority of votes, it becomes a law or amends the existing constitution. Referendums. The purpose of referendums, this process allows signatures citizens to vote on specific legislation. All right. Again, uh, laws or policy proposed or passed by the legislator, another governing body. Of course, there's the verification, of course, ballot placement, and then voting. It is important for the referendum petition to take place. If opponents of the measure disagree with the new law or policy, they may gather signatures to force a referendum. Pros and cons of the initiative stage. All right. So some pros of the initiative are empowerment of the citizens. Initiatives allow citizens to propose new laws or change existing laws, giving them a direct role in shaping policy. Addressing unmet needs is another one, which is usually important to registered voters. Those needs that are not met, it is usually important as far as the initiative is concerned. This is a pro of the initiative. They provide a mechanism for addressing issues that may not be on the legislative agenda, but are important to a significant portion of the electorate, otherwise the registered voters. Political engagement, of course, is another pro. It allows An increase in political engagement and awareness among voters by involving them in the legislative process. And then, of course, most importantly, you have your checks and balances. Initiatives can act as a check on the legislator, especially if elected representatives are perceived to be out of touch with the public sentiment. Okay, so if you lose touch of why you are in office in the first place, which is to serve the people, checks and balances can help that. All right, and then some cons of the initiative. Complexity and voter understanding is one. Voters may find complex issues difficult to understand, leading to uninformed decision making. And of course, special interest influence. Initiatives can be heavily influenced by well-funded interest groups or organizations that can dominate the signature gathering and campaigning process. And then lastly, of course, your implementation challenges, I'm sorry. Once approved, initiatives may face practical challenges in implementation, especially if they involve complex or costly changes. Some pros and cons of the referendums. Direct democracy is a pro. Referendums allow citizens to directly vote on specific laws or policies, which can enhance democratic legitimacy and public support. Also, stability and reassessment is another pro of the referendum process. By allowing a re-evaluation of specific laws, referendums can help correct or adjust policies that are not working as they intended to do. Some cons of the referendum process is short-term focus. Referendums may reflect short-term public opinion rather than long-term policy needs, leading to decisions that might not consider future consequences. So in context, the Arizona Constitution initiative and referendums are key components of direct democracy, which allows citizens to have a more direct role in shaping laws and policies. In the Arizona Constitution, both initiative and referendums are an integral practice to direct democracy. Initiatives empower citizens to propose and enact new laws or constitutional amendments directly, bypassing the legislator and reflecting the direct will of the people, while referendums allow citizens to review and vote on existing laws, providing a mechanism for public oversight and ensuring legislative accountability. Both processes are important. Both processes are important because they enhance democratic engagement and ensure that governance in Arizona is more directly aligned with the will of its people, consistent with the principles of direct democracy embedded in the Arizona State Constitution. Thank you for listening, and I hope I was able to explain this for you thoroughly.